By Hussam, Ayloush, a human rights activist and CEO of the Council on American Islamic Relations. Hussam, thanks very much indeed for your time. This situation is ongoing now for more than a week and still no official reaction from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, he is under pressure, of course, to crack down on situations in the occupied West Bank with elections looming. But what is your reaction to the ongoing events?
Sure. First of all, it's always appreciated to have the Pope speak up, and this wouldn't be the first time, and he wouldn't be the first Pope to speak up against the ongoing Israeli aggression in the West Bank. And to make things clear, this hasn't been something that started a few days or a few weeks or a few months ago. This has been for nearly 60 years. This is 60 years of illegal, brutal, racist Israeli occupation of the West Bank, of trying to take over Palestinian land, building illegal settlements, for Jewish supremacy. This is, we're in the West Bank alone. And of course, we've seen a rapid rise over the last 2 or 3 years under the Netanyahu government of building of illegal settlements, almost 400 between settlements and illegal posts that aim to basically steal, illegally capture Palestinian land, destroy their olive trees, their farmland, demolish their homes, burn down their farmland, kill their animals, make life unbearable for them so they can leave. Because, we shouldn't be surprised. We all know this is the Zionist plan. The Zionist plan is to dispossess the Palestinians, ethnically cleanse them in order to build expanded greater Israel, to advance a Jewish supremacist ideology in the region. And thankfully, the Pope is speaking. But the reality is, in my country, in America, the Trump administration doesn't listen to the Pope. It listens to the interest groups, to AIPAC, to Zionists who happen to be Jewish and Christian. Talk about 30 million Zionist Christian in America, evangelical Christians who don't listen. They don't care what the Pope say. They actually don't care what happens to Christians, Palestinian Christians in Palestine. That is how sad it is.
And do you think the Pope's words carry more significance because he is a US citizen? And of course, we know he has clashed in the past with President Trump, who, has a fairly close relationship, or has done, with the Israeli Prime Minister over the years.
It has moral weight. That's about it. It's the same thing as a celebrity, a famous celebrity, saying something in sympathy with the ordeal of the Palestinian people. It's the same thing as you or other media outlets saying something, but it has no weight. It's not going to change policy because, if there was anything that should have changed U.S. policies or European policies other than rhetoric, it could have been the genocide in Gaza that has killed 70+ thousand Palestinians, including 20,000 children. With the low-intensity genocide, let's put it this way, in the West Bank, which has only killed, and I'm saying only because in perspective, 1,100 Palestinians. That includes over 250 children. That is not going to change policies. What will change policy is for Israel to know that is ongoing killing of Palestinians and the destruction of even the possibility of a two-state solution. Because Israeli officials, starting with the head, Prime Minister Netanyahu himself, has said, we will not allow a Palestinian state, not in Gaza, not in the West Bank, nowhere else, never. So the only way to stop the Israeli aggression in that region, and I say region because it's beyond Palestine today, it is extended to the entire region with threats now including to Syria, to Turkey, and other countries. So the only way to stop Israeli aggression is to activate something similar to the Mecca Pact, or the Mecca Accord, which has brought together countries of Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan. The only way Israel would know it can no longer push back and commit aggression, mass murder, ethnic cleansing, apartheid, is if there is a political, diplomatic, economic, and military price to pay for those acts of aggression.
Perhaps, though, the Pope's words and indeed further international coverage of this particular village, though, will highlight the ongoing situation there. Just a final one. A couple of days ago, Israel Katz, the defense minister of Israel, suggested that he wanted to transfer law enforcement powers in the occupied West Bank from the military to the police. What effect would that have on Palestinians?
It will continue to subjugate the Palestinians to the oppression, illegal behavior by the Israeli government, whether it's done by the police, by the military, or by the armed settlers. It's all the same. The uniforms change, but the actions, the end result on the day-to-day life of the Palestinians is the same. It is seeing their children being killed, harassed, being subjected to all forms of unfair, brutal treatment just because they don't happen to be Jewish. That's what it is at the end of the day. Katz is the famous defense minister who only a few days ago announced, we will not be withdrawing from Syria, from Lebanon, from Gaza, because we know what their goal is. It's a government, it is not a fringe government. It's a government that represents the interests of the settler movement. This is not just Likud. Katz might be a Likud member, but this is a government, for this coalition to survive the next election or even staying in power in the Knesset, it has to advance the agenda of the far-right extremist settler movement, which mandates emptying Palestine of Palestinians and replacing them with illegal Jewish settlers from all over the world.
Hussam, we thank you very much indeed for joining us on TRT World. Pleasure to have you on the programme. That is Hussam Ayloush, human rights activist and CEO of the Council on American Islamic Relations. Thank you.